Hello, this is XStarKillerX here, and today we're going to do another World of Warcraft top 10 countdown. This time it is going to be raid bosses. So this is going to be my personal top 10 raid bosses. So let's get into it. Number 10. Kael'thas Sunstrider, Lord of the Blood Elves. Now this is the end boss at the end of the Tempest Keep, the I-25-man raid. And for defeating this boss you will have an estimated to obtain 78 gold. Now, the reason that I like this boss is because, it is famous for dropping the Ashes of Elhar, which is a very good looking mount. And I also like the whole fight in general. You have to fight through the 4 guards, and then you fight them all at once, which can be a pain in the bloody arse, but it's a good fight. And you have to take him on using all sorts of wide range of abilities, and it's just a great fight overall. And I just like it because it looks badass. Number 9. Galleon. Now, this is a world boss which spawns in the Valley of the Four Winds on Pandaria. Now the reason that I like this boss is because it is great for hanging out with friends, and it's quite a simple kill really as long as you know the tactics. And yeah, it's just a great boss with some pretty good drops as well. Number 8. Nalak, the Stormlord. Now this is a boss found on the Isle of Thunder in the temple at the top right hand corner of the map. Now the reason I like this boss is particularly because it looks pretty cool. He's got a lot of good abilities, and it's also a great fight to be able to hang out with friends again as well. And it does have some pretty decent drops as well, so it's a great boss all around. Number 7. The Shah of Pride. Now this one is found in the Siege of Orgrimmar 25-man or 10-man raid. And the reason that I like this boss is because it has a lot of good combinations of attacks. You have to be quite talented in order to actually defeat this thing, as it does have quite beastly attacks if you don't know what you're doing. It's just a great fight overall, does have some pretty decent drops, and also does again look pretty badass. Number 6. Gorash Hellscream. Now he is found at the end of the Siege of Orgrimmar 25-man or 10-man raid. And the reason I like this boss is because there's different stages. First you'll find him in the throne room, then you'll have to go to, I believe it's like a Shadow Realm sort of thing, and fight him again. They will then come back to the throne room to finish him off and obtain your loot. And also he did drop the heirloom weapons as well, which are really, really good, but unfortunately he doesn't drop them anymore. But yeah, it's still a great boss fight all round. Number 5. Krill Jaden. Now this boss is found at the end of the Sunwell Plateau, which is found just north of Silvermoon City. Now the reason that I like this boss, it's got lots of good tactics, it drops pretty decent loot, and it also is really cool because it is also the end boss for the Burning Crusade, which just makes it that little bit more special. Number 4. Deathwing. Now this boss is found at the end of Dragon Soul, and to defeat this boss you have to go through 2 stages, which is the Spawn of Deathwing and then the Madness of Deathwing. Now these two are really, really cool boss fights in their own. One of them requiring you to stand on certain parts of Deathwing's back in order to not get shaken off and get annihilated. In the second part you have to defeat all the tentacles, and then avoid Deathwing's attack Cataclysm. Just a great fight around with some pretty awesome rewards. Number 3. The Lich King. Now this boss can be found at the end of the Ashcrown Citadel 25-man or 10-man raid. Now the reason that this is an awesome boss is because it's got a lot of great tactics in order that you need to follow in order to kill the boss, and it does also have some pretty nice loot, and the dungeon itself is probably one of the best in my opinion, and it's just an awesome boss, and he is pretty badass. I keep saying that, but he is really badass. He's the king of badass. Number 2. Illidan Stormrage, the Betrayer. Now this boss is found at the end of the Black Temple 25-man raid. Now this boss is pretty awesome because it's a lot of great tactics. The boss fight itself is really, really cool. You have to fight the flames of Arazov, I think it is. And it also drops the 2 legendary Warglaives of Azzinoth as well, which are great and look awesome as well. So yeah, awesome boss with awesome loot, and looks pretty cool as well. And number 1. Ragnaros. Now this is found at the end of the Molten Core 40-man dungeon. Now this boss is absolutely amazing and my favourite boss overall. It just looks really, really cool. The boss fight is pretty awesome as well, where you can throw up in the air and if you land on rock you kind of owned. But it's a great boss fight. He also drops the Eye of Sulphurus, which is made to make Sulphurus the Hand of Ragnaros, and it's just an absolutely fantastic boss. So that is it for this countdown. If you enjoyed, don't forget to punch that like button, leave a comment down below, and also subscribe. Also, most for me on my Twitter feed, which is going to be linked down below as always. So once again, thank you so much for watching. I've been X-Lock Alex, and I will see you all in the next countdown. Goodbye.